5 new messages. Okay, I'll put it on the recorder now. This is Rachelle, Linney, Scrapsy Linney, the ISIS with the S, the L with the Linney side, which comes down to a bloodline that goes to the Jesus line, which is basically the Antichrist. It's not a man, it's actually a woman. It's the bloodline of Mary Magdalene to the oldest mother to daughter line of Magical Eve. The thing is it's been a joke, and it's a war game of the last 100 years. Otto von Habsburg, if you look at him, you'll find the 3 culprits of the 1,000-year new Illuminati monastery, which is Pope John Paul, who was my grandmother's twin from the Poland, from the Romanov line. That's World War I. World War II, my uncles were sent from the Jesuits from Sicily over to America to come back with Eisenhower to France, and then we got the Nazis back to my hometown, Reading, Pennsylvania. I live beside of Mitt Romney, which is the Mormons with the reptilian side, and the White Eyes from which comes from Norway, which are the Bolsheviks of what, the Rothschilds wanted to take out for the money of Russia, which is now Harvard and Jewish Russians actually rolling that one up right now. But the thing is they, it was to get the Federal Reserve where we bet on each other's birth certificate, and that's our money of now going over to China, which is Bitcoin, to take everything down. What it's about is my uncle was with Pope John Paul. First, the Dalai Lama had, which you'll see on Otto von Habsburg, although it's the Ottoman Empire and Dalai Lama, he had Mary Magdalene's skin. From the cell you can make a baby. I'm that baby. Of what the joke is all about is that the Romanov line is the Queen of Romania, which is Otto von Habsburg's sister that went to Pennsylvania, and that's with Biden to Carlisle Group with Bush family in Scranton with my aunt who made babies with Keith Lanier, which was the Monaco family wife. Princess Grace died of Princess Diana to 9/11 and Maddie McCann. Of twins now to one-body human. This is a war game. It's 1,000 years of species, of human species, of 2 people, women having the babies, now men have the babies, and this is why little girls in Africa are growing penises at 13, with Hollywood, with Oprah, who's with my family from East Coast to West Coast. It was a mafia game, but it also goes back to Sicily of the Jewish Jesuits that are ruling the Illuminati family from the Pope. So yes, this is Charlie Hebdo of the Pope's son, which was my aunt from out in California with Meghan Markle, what was all going on with Bill Bradford and serial killing. I was almost killed in 1979 in Florida, in Boca Raton, where I went to school, and the Prince of Iran and Abdullah Aziz, which was connected to Khashoggi, of what they found my blood. Tuesday, 12:03 p.m. So the Khashoggi thing is I was with Egypt Embassy and Portugal and Tunisia and Morocco, which where I'm at in France, is all with the Bush family to Ambrose and Queen and Horses, my father-in-law, Colin Linney, putting my DNA in my sister-in-law's and then getting us divorced, although I'm not divorced. And that's with look of who her I DNA was Maddie, who was put into me. And then it's mixing the bloodline, so you can not see my American bloodline, but being that I think I had an old bloodline coming from even a dead cell or whatever came from Dalai Lama and having Mary Magdalene's gift for 900 years, you can't really stick an old bloodline in a new bloodline of women because it's very heavy or whatever. You know, it's only common sense that they also go gay, and that's happened to my uncle, who was part of my nana's. But he was with Pope John Paul, to where this is the serial killing of the Black Madonna, the game of the oldest mother to daughter line, and to try to be kings and queens. And the first temple is Cleopatra, second Mary Magdalene and Jesus, her son or her daughter. That's what the Vegas shooting is. They took my daughter's eyes off, put it on the painting, 500 million of what they've done. Because my son gave up Olympics for England for years, and I went out to California, and I lived with Mitt Romney, and I had MI6 saying, why did I pick there? And people from hockey, where we were at with UK, England. The thing is it has to do with the FISA. I was supposed to, the insurance memo, I was supposed to do weapons dealing in Peru, where Kanye West they're having babies, they make babies and they sell blood because you can live longer. It's $8,000 on PayPal. And it's also to try to fake out to see if your bloodline could be king and queen and whose sperm, like on Obama's portrait, is better than the other. So they have fights, and this is the war game. So it's a 100-year war game against UN, NATO commanders, because I was at ACS Hillingdon in 2008. Crash, Lloyd's Bank CEO, was Barclays were shaking hands in the parking lot, and Steve Jobs got me there. So that's NATO, all NATO commanders, all Americans too. So this is the games of Army, Navy, Air Force, to where my aunt was with Air Force. That's Prince Andrew's line, and Karen McDonald. That's coming from Canada to Germany, and the Olsen twins, that line. And then you have it's all a game of sticking the DNA into each different women. And then you own that person, trade it over the stock market, and kill when you want, because if you want to live longer, a facelift or whatever, younger blood is better, and that's why there's always false flags. So the end of the day is 1979 was Pope John Paul realized he couldn't kill me. They have me in a picture with the Time magazine when he got shot, because that's basically the Prince of Iran and the Ottoman Empire, Abdulaziz, who was Turkish, but then also Tuesday, 12:08 p.m. So I went to Texas. I was raised in Texas. Muhammad Atta, CIA, he lives in California. It was Lebanon, but it was all the USA Army. They're all together in all this. And it's all a game of basically not letting the women know, but now it's the men of all the Masonic knowing that, guess what, it's one body human. We're hived mind, and it's the telepathy line of what the Bolsheviks, they were frozen out the pituitary gland that now they have, so they want to kill out all the blacks, what the Africans had, where they had the Ice Age and it froze them out. So it comes back to a war game, and then it's a serial killing, East Coast to West Coast, Bill Bradford, the son of Sam, and that all comes from the Vatican. This is all a game of killing the Black Madonna, why they killed 100 women out there in California to now get to make a marker, because Princess Grace died because my uncle went to Egypt in I have all the papers and everything, and even me on Time magazine where I wasn't there, so I can, when he was shot, but they saying, "Oh, God saved me." I would take him to the next year after he was shot to shake his hand, and my hand turned black. I don't know if I do one or something, but the thing is there's just everything happening around me, where it was all like it's like a string of what Einstein used to say. Portugal knows that Manny McCann was mine. They got a hold of Colombia, and I had all the Mexicans around me over here in France. I said to them, she was at with Floyd and Rupert Murdoch. Rupert Murdoch was with my sister. How I got into all this was Union Trucking. Elton John, Yellow, Jeff Lynne, and Rupert Murdoch got me with trucking. My husband's down there, call him Linney, and David Beckham was with me in the hospital when I was at Portland Hospital, where they took Maddie when I had my kids, and I was impregnated at Buckhurst Hill. So what was going on was the whole game. And yes, I was with J.P. Morgan people. My father-in-law tried to kill Cameron, my son. So what the hell has been going on? It's just been a huge game. But Portugal knew, and all the embassies knew. They took the photographs of my thing. They know who I am. They know what's going on. It's just the people. And this is takedown. They said there's different species in our world. The reptilian side, what's down was who was Queen Victoria's illegitimate son from Bertie versus Jack the Ripper. My father-in-law's, my mother-in-law was worker in Buckingham Palace, Bertie's kid. So this has just been a game to try to see who can get the first into the royal family, which Prince George is mine, from what has been going on. Yes, raped. What has happened to me is a mind control of what they can do of a sperm inside the Bohemian Grove people, but women break this, and that's why I feel love with the children. They want us out. They hate women. So basically, that's why the men, and it's also maybe to get inside our bodies easier that way with different bloodlines and stuff. But the thing is, this has all happened to me. I saw Maddie at Portland Hospital. I told the police. I told Portugal Embassy. And Interpol is all mixed in with America. Tuesday, 12:11 p.m. I'm sorry, this is all over the place, but yes, I can prove everything, and I wrote a book, and especially when I was in the mafia, come up to you, so you're not allowed to write a book, and then they start hugging you because you say something, and they realize their kids have died. This all comes back down to what we're going around to is we need to keep talking about the Kasaji thing, and that had to do with his father his cousin was Stodified, so they know that, this is the Shiite or Sunni of our Holocaust. This is a Holocaust of Shiite and Sunni now to go to Hispanic, Black, and Asia. It's where they give good karma, bad karma. the church gives the poor some food, but then they kill him. So we put all the Hispanics, Black and Asian on TV so we can kill them, because that's like how you balance out the energy. Whereas the balance of love is the only way to do this, because that's why they kill the innocent, so that way, it doesn't come back on them. But now that they're innocent, we got to teach them the ways of our world, of our species that are in our world, because yes, these are different people in our world, but we have to do the right thing. Where Donor, the cop shooter, was a cop, and he was from Simi Valley. And this is why the blowing up there from hockey, for where this is all at, because they all knew about the Vegas, to where they had my daughter out there. And this has to do with, Kennedy being killed. He knew that the nukes, not only in Israel, were there to try to get sorted out, but it's to start World War III and even to take out the Jewish again. So this is a way to start World War III, to take out our species, which is man and women, to one body, one human. 9/11, Twin Towers, which they tried to kill my mom and dad, and basically have this protected line. So it's sort of like we go here, we go there, we don't realize what's going on of protection. And it's true, it's a force. So this is where the Secret Service were in the Hudson to try to get them. So all of this is around me, and also Kissinger is part of our family, because Eisenhower came over with my uncles, and then brought Operation Paperclip, and Crossbody owned Reading Eagle, Reading Outlet, other side of Mitt Romney, on the corner on Fern Glen. And that has to do with then Nixon, and then Kissinger, and Kissinger's in our family. He gave the baby to Putin to get in power, which is also my children have all been mixed up, to where also Matthew McCanny had that line, and he also had my daughter's line. So that gave the baby to Trump to get in power, because you have to be blue blood. So then he had that with Kushner and the bank and Dutch bank, to take all the banks down, to take all the money. All the money is mine. Everything is mine. I have done everything for zero. And the thing is, it belongs to everybody. You want to be a queen of the fifth race, it's who we are, but I'm supposed to kill now, but that's not for a big person. So yes, for going to the sixth grade, this is like the fifth element. I wish I looked like that. But the thing is David Beckham was in the hospital with me. Clinton Cards and Luca, who were all in the hospital at the same time. So this is Princess Diana's DNA to make twins. Tuesday, 12:15 p.m. So this is a 100-year war game. That's why Macron saying he wants to do army, where they're getting so pissed off. But the thing is it's 1,000 years new Illuminati game, and that's why the year 2000 and 9/11, to where we also have 3,600 years as Cleopatra, to the old leads to Rome, to it's a Catholic to play Jesus game, to where the species want to play Jesus, and they eat your brain to do things to people, and it's not nice, to do all this to humans. When we don't realize that when we have babies, whether each baby has a certain two negatives and a positive, just like Tuesday, 12:19 p.m. End of final message. Memory full.